SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Pike County.
Here comes your morning show.
Dave in the morning
On 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
Bloody angle, the symmetry. Your cheap adhesive isn't holding me. My mouth is a gun I can shoot. I can show you the truth. No pun intended, no punishment. If I offended you, you needed it. Ideas are the bones in your mind. A fisher in time. If you don't have a weapon, you can't have mine.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any party. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
I'm not afraid. I'm giving into grievances again. I'm down to absolute zero. I'm not the devil, but I won't be your hero.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you. How you doing? Another beautiful day, and yes, I know it's cloudy. That is beauty right now. Maybe not quite as much today, because even though it started out a little bit overcast, no chance of rain in the forecast today. Tomorrow, though, yeah. Tomorrow, a 40% chance of rain, 20% chance tomorrow night on Election Day. Perfect. After that, sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, back to a chance of rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That second chance of rain, though, isn't just normal rain. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you did not overdose, as if it's possible to avoid it at this point. I hope you didn't overdose on political nya. It's a technical term. Nya. Everybody nonstop discussing it. Was always going to be that way. The election's tomorrow. Of course everybody is focused on it. Everybody's talking about it. Get that. Having said that, what we need to do is figure out a way to dial it back just a little bit. I've been saying this forever, and I'm hoping after the election tomorrow that will happen. Now, you and I both know it's not going to happen that way. It doesn't matter who wins the election. Well, the sniping and snarling and fighting and shouting is not going to stop. You know that just like I do. Eventually, we'll reach the point, and I'm going to say it's January 20th. Eventually, we'll reach the point where it will die off a little bit. It's going to have to. Because we can't keep going like this. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. If you didn't hear about this story, on Saturday, they had an incident at the mall. Now, at the mall, some people got into it. Now, somebody, and let me go ahead and tell you this part. It was 3 women fighting at the mall in Macomb. Because, you know, that's what classy people do. They go to the mall and fight. So we had 3 women involved in a fist fight. Somebody called 911 and reported an active shooter situation. Now, unless you count somebody obviously somewhere in there, you would assume, shooting off their mouth, there was no shooting. There were no shots fired. But boy, does that fit into the way things work now. We escalate everything. We overreact to everything. Oh, needed police there. Needed it immediately. We didn't need the SWAT team and 2 helicopters and everything else for 3 women having a fist fight in the mall. But having said that, we had 3 women that had a fist fight at the mall. Now, I hear people all the time. I see it online. I'm told this face to face. Oh, everything has become so bad. Oh, it's so horrible. Well, I'll tell you why. I've told you why. I'm going to tell you why again. Why? Because that's the kind of jerk I am. That's exactly the flavor of jerk that you have stumbled up on this morning. It's twofold reason. One leads to the other. The reason is what I keep referring to as the temperature in the room. Everyone is a bomb with a lit fuse. Everyone is looking for a reason to explode, to be upset, to be aggrieved. Everyone. That's the American pastime, I'm telling you. Forget baseball. The national pastime is being butthurt. On all sides. This doesn't apply to one political side or the other. It's everybody. I still maintain the main part, the main thing that is contributing to that is this ridiculous belief that everyone has grabbed onto that everyone else's business is your business too. Everyone tries to mind everyone else's business. And I'm going to be honest, everyone else's business is none of yours. I have used the phrase many times, good fences make good neighbors, and I've talked about that. But I want to reiterate again. If you keep your nose out of your neighbor's business and your neighbor keeps their nose out of your business, all of a sudden everyone's getting along. Well, Dave, you don't understand how important it is. We got to do that. Shut up. You don't want anyone minding your business, do you? Did we just take do unto others as you would have them do unto you, wad it up and throw it away? Yes, to a large extent we did. We have to get it out of the trash, smooth it out as best we can. It's going to be wrinkly moving forward, but we can still smooth it out and get back to a place where we don't have to deal with quite as much stupidity. Because I'm sorry, 3 people in a fist fight at the mall. This is not good. First one to admit that. There's no way to spin that into a positive. But you have to wonder, with no details on exactly what happened or why, you have to wonder who was up in somebody else's business that started it. You know that's the way it works, just like I do. The second part is the overreaction part. 3 women get into a fist fight, so you call 911 and say somebody's shooting at the mall. Why? You trying to start a panic? Or did you just feel like some light recreational lying? Well, I thought I heard. No, but what? If you hear a gunshot, you'll know it. Especially if you're in the mall when it's happening. Oh, you're going to know. It's going to be loud. The whole situation was ridiculous from start to finish from everything I've seen. And we have to get a grip on it. We will talk more about this after the election is settled, but don't be under any misapprehension that tomorrow is going to settle anything. We have allowed ourselves, or actually forced ourselves, to be divided right down the middle for the most part. And we have allowed, we haven't forced this, we have allowed ourselves to be led down the path of believing that anyone that doesn't agree with us is evil. And the world would be a better place without them. Why do you think somebody was taking pot shots at President Trump? And then somebody else set up with a rifle ready to do it, but they caught him that time. Because the world would be a better place without those people that don't agree with me. We have completely lost the ability to disagree with one another. It's turned into nonstop sniping, literally in some cases, name-calling, yelling, screaming, stomping our foot like a 2-year-old who needs a nap. Which does bring it neatly around, needing a nap. Yeah, I think everyone could stand a good long nap at this point. Possibly a juice box and a cookie. Not one of the ones with cream fillings, too much sugar. Like maybe one of those little butter cookies. Just put a little something on the stomach, settle it down. Get the juice box. Wrap them up real good in a blanket so they can't get up and move around. And force the entire country to take a nap for a couple of days. Clearer heads might surface. Everyone else's business is not yours. Your business is not anyone else's. What is your business is making sure you cast your ballot tomorrow. You don't have to tell anyone who you voted for. Anyone that asks you who you voted for, tell them you voted for a fringe candidate named. That'll work. Take care of business, do what needs to be done, and then we can move forward into a brighter future. Or we can keep going down the path of, well, whatever disastrous stroll this is. We continue on this Monday morning right after this on SuperTalk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Love me. I tell you 1 and 1 makes 3. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Hey, this is Kristen from Selman's, coming to you with Trivia of the Week. Last week's question was, which U.S. state mines fine gem quality sapphires? The answer? Montana. Come see our collection of beautiful Montana sapphires today. This week's question is, which mineral is harder, diamond or quartz? Stay tuned for the answer next week. This trivia is brought to you by Selman's, your family-owned jewelry store since 1945. 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com and through your Alexa devices. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County, 93.5. Just gotta, here is my endorsement in. It's got Alfred E. Newman's face in the middle of it. From Mad Magazine. It says, Alfred for President 2024, what, me worry? Yeah, I like that. That's a pretty good attitude to have. We've lost that ability. Mose said, are you inferring this election is like a Jerry Springer show? No. Well, yes, but only because it's existing in this current society, and the whole dang thing is a Jerry Springer show. We had 3 women getting a fist fight at the mall on Saturday. The whole thing, everything, is an episode of the old classic Jerry Springer show. If you recall, they regularly had fistfights. They had people jump on each other, and they'd have to separate them whole 9 yards. But I do want you to keep in mind, that was the goal. That was the goal because it made good entertainment. It kept everyone's attention. It made sure everyone was focused on the show and talking about the show and buzzing about the show and getting other people to watch it and can't wait for the next episode. Why? Because we got to watch other people air their dirty laundry. This is not just a political thing. It's in general, society-wise. Look at reality TV. Functionally, for your life, what do you care about the private lives of millionaires? How does it affect your life? What are you possibly going to get from that? Wasn't that long ago, no one cared. But now, the carefully edited and staged private lives of people who have more money than you have turned into your daily entertainment. How does that make you feel about yourself and about the world around you? Exactly. There's a lot more to this than most people realize, but it is all a concerted effort to make you feel as bad as possible. To make you scared, to make you angry, apparently to make you fist fight at the mall. That's not good, and we all need to do a little bit better job of being so easily led. Because that's what's happening. No further details have been released on that incident at the mall that I have seen. Happened about 2 o'clock. Pike County Sheriff's Office put a notice out thanking the law enforcement agencies that responded, saying they received a call today around 2 o'clock on Saturday, reporting an active shooter at the Uptown Macomb Mall. Upon further investigation, there was not an active shooter. There was an altercation between several adults within the Uptown Macomb Mall. Somebody saw 3 women get into a fist fight and called in that shots had been fired. That's a fairly factual statement of what happened on Saturday. everything from the incident happening to how somebody reacted to it suggests that there are some people minding other people's businesses a little too vigorously, and people are overreacting to what they see. I'm sorry, you see 3 women fist fighting, so you call in that the shots have been fired. Yeah, that's... I'm going to be charitable and say that's misconstruing the facts. The non-charitable way to say it is you called 911 and lied. Well, they could have thought, they could have been scared. Okay, there's that word, scared. They could have thought that maybe a balloon busted and they thought a shot had been fired. To me, that's kind of weak. We've had shots fired all over the place. We had shots fired in the parking lot at Walmart by an elected official in Pike County. If you recall that story, we've had plenty of shots fired. We know what shots fired sounds like. We're painfully familiar with what that sounds like. If you mistake something else for that sound inside the mall, you're scared. Or you call yourself doing your civic duty and you escalate the problem that you call into 911 so that you get a better and quicker response. Oh, they'll get here quicker if I... No, just don't. Just don't. Now, I mentioned up at the beginning of the show about this weekend that we have a slight chance of showers moving in Friday afternoon, and then we're going to have a chance of rain all weekend. Not necessarily going to cool us down very much. The forecast highs staying around 80 over the weekend. But that is part of what is currently Tropical Depression 18, but is going to become Raphael pretty quickly here. Raphael, they think it's going to make a leap up to hurricane relatively quickly here, and then go over the western side of the island of Cuba, lose strength back down to a tropical storm, and then go drifting into the Gulf of Mexico. The waters in the Gulf have cooled off. That's the good news. If this was a month ago, it would be something we would have to look at a little bit differently. But right now, the waters are cooler. Now, today is Monday. They're expecting by Wednesday this to be a named storm, Raphael. Still want to have a word with whoever's cooking up the names. Raphael? Why was that a good idea? Whatever. Okay. They are expecting it to kind of lose some strength once it gets past the islands down there and gets into the Gulf. And after that, who knows? We've got a cold front pushing in from the west. That is going to do one of two things depending on timing, depending on when the storm system makes contact initially with the cold front, the speed of the cold front, the strength of the cold front, the strength of the storm. There's a lot of different factors, so you can't nail it down and say exactly what effect it's going to have. It's going to do one of two things. It's either going to push it more to the east or push it west into the Gulf. The various paths right now, well, the three main paths that they're focusing on at the moment is either, and this is the most common one, that it comes up and it hangs a hard left. It goes almost due west into the western Gulf just above the Bay of Campeche and winds up over in Mexico and Texas. That's the most common. That's the most predicted path. Middle ground, second most models showing this, kind of comes up through the middle, winds up going towards the Louisiana coast down to our southwest and then coming up through here. That's the one we probably don't want to see the most out of all of them. Again, depending on how this thing strengthens. If it's a tropical storm when it comes in, we need the rain. Now, a good tropical storm coming in and dumping rain on us for a couple of days, okay, now we're moving in the direction of getting enough rain to do something about the burn ban. But it's going to have to be a lot for more than one day, more than a few hours, to make that burn ban go away before the end of the month. Had this conversation when we had that last little rain event last week, and I noticed Pike County Emergency Management, Civil Defense, said the same thing, said this rain is good. We needed this rain. This was not enough to do away with the burn ban. So the burn ban is still in effect. This could help us out. This could definitely move us in the direction of doing away with the burn ban if we get a tropical storm. If this thing is going to become a hurricane, if it's going to be Hurricane Raphael, and it's forecast to before it hits Cuba, which is going to knock some of its strength out. If it figures out a way to piece itself back together to become a hurricane again before it lands, Mexico's lovely this time of year, Raphael. Go visit. But the interesting thing is, right now, there is one aspect of this where it doesn't matter what path it follows and where it winds up making landfall. If it takes that hard left, if it goes through the middle, if it comes up to the east, the third most common path, and much fewer models show this than that hard westerly turn. That one has it coming in and basically going right over New Orleans. It doesn't matter which of those three happens, we're going to get some rain out of it. That's why, a lot of times you'll see the forecast when we have a storm coming, and this far out, because these computer models, where I'm telling you it's going, that's through Saturday. Normally from this far out, a week out, you don't get a firm grasp on what, if any, rain you're going to get out of it from the National Weather Service. Oh, they're not messing around on this one because it almost doesn't matter where it goes. At this point, out of all the possibilities, we're still going to get rained on this weekend. Starting Friday afternoon, going all the way through the weekend, and possibly the first day or two of next week. So, get your umbrella. Get your floaties blown up and get ready. I say that, it's not going to be that bad, and you know it, but it's still something we need to pay attention to. Just because it may still impact us, whether it be from, flash flooding, whether it be from having to mow the grass again. It has to end eventually, right? Been doing pretty good with the drought, gotta admit. That's the one and only good thing about the drought. No grass mowing. That is subject to change. So, we're going to keep an eye on what is about to be Raphael. It's a tropical depression right now. It doesn't have much to go. I think the last, what was the last update? 35 mile an hour maximum sustained wind. So it's pretty close. It will tip over into a tropical storm before we know it. Just keep your ear to the ground, pay attention to it, because, well, actually, and count your blessings. It's not coming in tomorrow. That's the last thing we need on an election day, because the weather does impact turnout. And we've had a lot of early turnout all across the country this time, but bad weather keeps people home from the polls. Because, as we all know, good citizens who exercise their right to vote are apparently water soluble. If it's raining, well, I just can't go to that. I'll catch it again in 4 years. Because turnout is always lower when it's raining. So no tropical system, but we do have a slight chance of rain tomorrow. Don't let it stop you. Go cast your ballot, move on with life. Breaking news here that has just come in, and thanks to Ronnie for tipping me off to this. I hadn't seen it yet. It just happened like 10, 15 minutes ago. The Saints have fired head coach Dennis Allen. Now, a lot of Allen's problems, 7-game losing streak, after they started out really well the first couple of games. Oh, they looked like they were world beaters. And then we had the injury to the quarterback, Derek Carr. And everything went right off the cliff at that point. Now, having said that, Allen, his record as the head coach of the Saints, 18-25. Which means before that 7-game losing streak that they just finished up yesterday, before that losing streak, he was at 18-18 as the Saints head coach. So he was a 500 coach before the problems kicked in. Overall, as a head coach in the NFL, Allen, 26-53. So, yeah, not a huge surprise. I'm pretty sure, and I mean, we could have worst streak in 25 years, by the way, for the Saints. We could have predicted this ahead of time before this. This just seals the deal. That's it for the Saints season. I mean, you've had all of this chaos with injuries and other problems, and now your head coach gets fired. You're going to bring somebody else in who will, by default, change the system to some extent. They have to, because it's going to be a different person. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they just take somebody from the staff, which is usually what happens, and name them the interim head coach. There are going to be at least some small differences in the system. It's just going to go that way because they're different people. You factor all of that in. Don't expect much out of the Saints for the rest of the year. That kind of does it. Let's start rebuilding for next year. You know, kind of like we've been doing for the last... Oh, yeah, it's a good point, Chris. Chris said on the bright side, the Saints are about to be in the shooter dart lottery in the draft. Yeah. Might have a shot at getting somebody good in, because at this rate, I love the Saints. I pull for the Saints. I am a who dat from back there. But... they have a shot at getting the first pick at this point. They'll win another game though somewhere. They will mess up and win somewhere at some time. But they're still in the running for that. Yeah, I agree. Oh, Mose, that's a good one. Raphael, the Storm. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Hurricane. Thank you for that, Mose. That theme song is going to be stuck in my head all day. I blame you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Hurricane. High winds on a half shell. It's you. It's on you. I blame you for this. Swear can't take you guys anywhere. We continue on this Monday morning. Seems like there's something going on tomorrow. I can't remember at the moment what it is because we've been talking Saints and Hurricanes, but there's something happening. Well, see if I can remember during the break and we can talk about it. That's but all I can promise at this point. Old brain is fried. We continue right after this. Keep it here.
This is Kristen from Selman's, coming to you with Trivia of the Week. Last week's question was, which U.S. state mines fine gem quality sapphires? The answer, Montana. Come see our collection of beautiful Montana sapphires today. This week's question is, which mineral is harder, diamond or quartz? Stay tuned for the answer next week. This trivia is brought to you by Selman's, your family-owned jewelry store since 1945. 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on. North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast is clear, but you won't catch me out. Oh, why? This is why. To have conviction, 'cause we were crimes of passion. Survival of the fittest. You're either with us or you can keep it to yourself. To This is why I don't leave the house.
Welcome back, Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Dave Hughes here.
This is why.
Very quickly, I want to run this down. After Friday night, we got some clarity on the playoffs for high school football. Park Lane was, of course, idle Friday night because they had a bye. They had a first-round bye in the playoffs. This Friday, they will be playing against Silliman. Silliman defeated Bayou Academy, squeaked through 22-21. Silliman will be traveling to Park Lane. That'll be this Friday at 7 p.m. The highest seed hosts the games leading up to the championship. Park Lane is number one seed, which means they'll be hosting all the way through. Because after that, if they get past Silliman, then they move on to the semifinals and play the winner of Oak Forest and Copiah Academy. And then it will be on to the championship game on the 22nd of November. For some of the other schools in the area, and we have quite a few that made the playoffs. Macomb, they're going to take on Lawrence County, a familiar opponent. That's putting it mildly. That'll be Friday night at 7 o'clock. In 3A, we have several schools in our area that are going to be in the playoffs, participating in the action this Friday. Wesson taking on Jefferson Davis County. I believe that's at Jefferson Davis County. South Pike will be hosting Seminary. Hazelhurst taking on Jefferson County. Wesson's playing Jefferson Davis County. I caught that. I'm like, wait a minute. No, we can't have two Jefferson counties. Hazelhurst playing actual Jefferson County. Tylertown facing off against Enterprise Clark. McGee and Franklin County facing off. All of that will be Friday night. In 2A, got a couple of teams in 2A from our area. Mid-County will be against Pisgah. St. Andrew's Episcopal taking on Bogachita, and it's Pelahatchie and Lloyd Star. Wilkinson County will take on Raleigh. Raleigh is the number 1 team from Region 6. Wilkinson County, the number 4 team from Region 7. So, of course, it'll be at Raleigh, and we'll see where we go from there. Won't be the first upset we've seen if they pull off the win. So a lot of folks in this area in the playoffs moving forward starting Friday night. We'll take it. We will definitely 100% take it. Now, we have one other thing to point out. You may have heard there, didn't mention the North Pike Jaguars. Well, that's because the regular season.
This is why I don't leave the house.
Excuse me? Thank you. The regular season, a little bit different for 5A schools. North Pike, of course, 5A. Their playoffs start a week later. Everybody else, most everybody else, got finished early. Friday night for most of them, finished up. However, they're not quite done yet in football. This Thursday, not Friday, okay? I want to make sure we notice this. Not Friday. North Pike football ends the regular season Thursday with senior night. 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. The following week, the 15th, will be the first round of 5A playoffs. Didn't mention North Pike because we're not there yet. So just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. Speaking of same pages, Chris, it was bad enough Mose gave me the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme, and now Chris messages in and says 8675309. I'm going to have a word with Jenny about you. Your house is going to get double rolled this year. Fix that problem. Anyway, that is complete with a surprise musical interlude. That is the playoff situation as it stands right now. 5A and 6A, won't know until this week is over. So, one more week to go, but again, it's a great chance to go ahead and illustrate and let you know North Pike football this week on Thursday, not Friday, on senior night. So, go ahead, brace up, bow up, get ready. Get ready a day early. And that's actually good. I mean, it is, and here's why. Weather-wise, it's good. Thursday, sunny during the day, partly cloudy at night. Friday, the showers start moving in about noon from the tropical system, and they're going to be with us all weekend. So we're going to get to have a nice dry game instead of a mud fest. And it might not even be that way. We might not get that much rain on Friday, but we get to avoid the entire problem with the scheduling as it is. And I don't know about you, but I'm good with that. Perfectly okay with missing the rain. Something had to work out right eventually, didn't it? On planet Earth? Somewhere? One quick thing that I want to... I tell you what, we'll take our final break and then we'll come back and we'll address that. In case you didn't hear the breaking news, we had it on Fox News at the top of the hour. They'll be talking about it again here at the top of this hour, I'm sure. Quincy Jones passed away. As usual, everybody treating it like a shocking tragedy. The man was 91. This is neither shocking nor a tragedy. Hadn't even done anything in a while. He's just been at the house. It's not even a loss to music. It's a loss to the history of music, yes. He was a talented man. He was 91. This is not shocking. We have got to change that mindset. Oh, he's in the prime of life. He's only 81. Let's run him for president again. It's that mindset. It's all part of the same thing. 91. He was taken from us too soon. What kind of hallucinogenic toads are you licking? Final break. We'll close this out for a Monday morning after this.
Hey, this is Kristen from Selman's, coming to you with Trivia of the Week. Last week's question was, which U.S. state mines fine gem quality sapphires? The answer, Montana. Come see our collection of beautiful Montana sapphires today. This week's question is, which mineral is harder, diamond or quartz? Stay tuned for the answer next week. This trivia is brought to you by Selman's, your family-owned jewelry store since 1945. 1311 Delaware Avenue, Macomb.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Toyota of Brookhaven, Ag Up, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them, really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl. closing time.
Before we go, I could not let the show end in good conscience today without a shout out to poor Peanut the squirrel. Peanut the squirrel lived a fuzzy, wonderful little life. Peanut the squirrel had over 1 million followers on Instagram. What happened? This guy, I believe in Pennsylvania, found a squirrel, little abandoned, in trouble squirrel, and took it home, nursed it back to health, and adopted it. And it was happy. It was bouncing around. Everybody got to watch this squirrel's life on Instagram. Became hugely popular. You could tell this guy loved the squirrel, and you could tell Peanut the squirrel loved this guy. There was no doubt about that. Now, the way the story has unfolded, there is a woman, and I thought at first it was somebody, it was like a neighbor. No. A woman, a photographer in Texas, was tired of a squirrel being more successful on social media than she was, so she started spamming complaint calls about a wild animal being kept. The government then went in, raided the house, held the man and his wife for several hours, questioned her immigration status, took the squirrel and a raccoon named Fred that the guy was keeping, took them off, and immediately euthanized them. Killed them dead, stone cold dead. Everyone has risen up about this. Why? There's a couple of reasons. Number one, everyone can relate to having a beloved pet and losing them. Doesn't matter what kind of animal it is. I don't care if it's a rhinoceros. Number one, that'll wreck your kitchen tile. But whatever kind of pet you have, you can relate to this immediately. It's very relatable. It immediately causes emotions for anyone who hears this story. Number two, this was the best, clearest, most direct example of what could happen if we let things continue to get out of hand. Government officials can come into your house, confiscate your pets, and kill them. That gets a lot of people's attention very quickly, as you can imagine. I am just severely impressed that at none of his rallies yesterday, apparently, not that I saw, Trump didn't show up in a squirrel outfit. You think that's facetious? It would have been perfect. Peanut the squirrel, the deciding factor in some people's votes. This planet is so messed up. Have a wonderful day. Go to bed early. Get plenty of rest, plenty of sleep. You're going to need your energy and all of your faculties to go vote tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, finally, on Election Day at 9:06, my friend. See you then.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.